Hey, welcome everybody to the Father, Son, and Holy Football weekly NFL show. I'm G-Man, Team Money right there, coming to you live. Guess what? Super Bowl preview special, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, we come to you every week on Tuesday during the season. We give you all of our bets, our tips for your fantasy league, and what's going on around the NFL. We're going to do it again tonight here for the Super Bowl week coming up here, Team Money. And looking ahead, we got Seattle favored by 4.5 in this matchup against New England. They entered the postseason as the Super Bowl favorites, Team Money, and they arguably are the best well-rounded team. And they just beat the Rams, who you, Team Money, thought were the guys that could challenge, and they knocked them off. So now it's down to this, Team Money. These guys behind me, can they go all the way?
Yeah, man, this is going to be an awesome, awesome game. Tale of two, stories. You got this insane comeback story of Sam Darnold, the Seahawks, who no one were even considering in the beginning of the season, with a defensive coordinator who seems a little, defensive coordinator head coaches kind of seem outdated in this, young NFL hotshot OC world. And then you got Drake May and Mike Vrabel kind of are becoming the dark empire of the Patriots again. Nobody wants to see them win this. They don't deserve it this fast. Drake May could become the best QB in the league in year two. It's crazy the storylines that could come out of this.
Yeah. Well, I agree, man. It's getting exciting, isn't it? Because we're getting closer, and we don't know what's going to happen here. The New England Patriots are aiming for NFL record seventh Super Bowl title on one of the greatest turnarounds in NFL history. 4-13 last season to 17-3, the largest year-over-year win increase in NFL history by
Crazy.
these guys. And one reason they broke the record and have made it to the Super Bowl is their easy schedule, Team Money. I just wondered, did the Patriots have an easy path to get here to the Super Bowl?
Look, at the end of the day, if they beat Seattle, no one's going to remember this because Seattle was the best team in the league all year. Like you said, the most rounded, well-rounded team, amazing defense. Like if they can overcome this where the elements aren't a part of it, let that sink in. Then yes, I don't think anyone's going to say this, but so far, have they had an easy path? I would say yeah. Now, the Chargers was, a banged up Chargers team limping into the playoffs. Justin Herbert had the worst game of his career. And they had 16 points against this team. 10 points or 3 points all the way through like the fourth quarter. So this was a close game. You get the Texans game. The Texans still put up 16 points, even though CJ Stroud has a meltdown and throws four picks, and couldn't hold on to the ball to save his life. And the Broncos game, if Bo Nix was in, do they win that game? You know what I mean? They had a backup quarterback in a flurry in a snowstorm and could barely escape with a win. Two missed field goals, and the Patriots lose that game. So have they got a little lucky? Yes. Has it been easy? It seems like it. This defense wasn't this all-world defense that they've seen. They seem to be in the playoffs right now. So, I mean, yeah, they've had an easy path. Let's not kid ourselves. Seattle obviously played the 49ers and the Rams and, had a much tougher division. Yeah, of course they've had the harder path than the Patriots. So, at the end of the day, no one's going to care, but of course they've had the easier path.
And just to clarify that, what we mean by easiest path here for all the fans out there, Patriots opponents combined for 113 and 176 record this season. That's 391. That's tied for the third easiest opponent record in the last 50 seasons. And if you go from 2000 on up to now, from 2000 up to now, they've had the easiest schedule. 391 percentage. The teams that they play just don't win games. And here's another one, too. Almost two-thirds of the Patriots games were played versus teams, two-thirds of them against teams who either fired or did not return their head coach. 11 games that they played today, the head coach is gone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. And the Patriots, on the other hand, like T Money said, if they win this game, everybody's going to forget it. They can become the second team all time to beat the top three scoring defenses in a single postseason. That's what we'll be talking about if they can pull this off because they also, the Patriots, have a great defense. I think people are forgetting about that. But
Yeah.
Patriots, hey, Patriots, you can only beat what's in front of you, brother. Go get it if you want to go get it.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Hey,
Go get it.
go get it. Hey, if Drake May wins OT money, is he the best quarterback in the NFL next year? You going to give him that?
Oh man, I think if he had won the MVP, he'd have a better case for himself. It looks like it's pretty much Matthew Stafford's to lose. And then really, you got to kind of go to these last few games. All right. And that's where when you get into Drake May in the playoffs, that's where guys make their name here. Josh Allen lost, but his team put up 30 points, right? He was great in the Jacksonville game with, just dicing people up. Stafford lost. He had 370 yards and three touchdowns and no turnovers. And so I think that's the hard part now is you go to Drake
Yeah.
May and look, even if he has a good game here and they win, he had three atrocious playoff games for his standard. That look, he was incredible in the regular season. And now we have to hold him to that. If you want to be considered the best in the world, you have to be the best in the world in the biggest moments. And he hasn't been. So I'm not holding him to a second year standard. I'm holding him to best in the world. And absolutely not has he been that the past few games. Absolutely not. His game log has just been atrocious these past few games. Hasn't had a single game over 60% completion percentage. Has two interceptions. But on top of that, his fumbles have where it's gotten really, really bad. Losing a ton of fumbles in these games. And
Yeah.
so I can't give it to this guy right now as best in the world. You're going to have to. Stafford still is better. He just won the MVP. Allen, and Mahomes, they are in a class of their own, in my opinion. I'd still have Burrow and Lamar right there. He's knocking on the doorstep. That's for damn sure. And if you tell me he wins this and then wins the MVP next year, he's probably the best in the world. He can have that title. But he's played too bad in the playoffs, G-Man, to be considered the best in the world right now.
Well, you just rambled on so much. You covered all my points. How am I supposed to cover anything? You hit 25 points. You're only
Oh, I'm
supposed to hit
sorry.
one so that I can hit another point. But no,
Yes,
that's
sir.
those are all good points. I agree. And tale of two seasons for May. Just summing up what T Money said. The great regular season completion percentage 72%. Threw for 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, fourth in the NFL in those passing yards. He first in the NFL in passer rating, regular season, but not in the postseason, as T Money said. And if he flops again, it'll be a terrible postseason. Five touchdowns and five turnovers in this postseason so far. So far, and will he turn the ball over again? T Money, we're going to talk about that as we move along in the show. But one thing I give him credit for on those great stats is he did not have an elite receiving core. Yes, Stephon
True.
Diggs is elite guy. Drake May is Stephon
Yeah.
Diggs elite. I mean, I don't know that this receiving core is anything to write home about. So for him to do that with that receiving core, the second leading receiver was Hunter Henry.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. It's been an impressive year, and that's why the guy almost won the dang MVP. Like
Almost
again,
won.
he set the standard for himself now. So sorry you got to hold up to being in the top class now. And look, he might be in that class moving forward. We've kind of always said it's Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and Lamar. I think Stafford's kind of cemented himself in that now. So, you got these four or five top guys. I think Drake May has to be considered right there. But, I get scared because I look at someone like Jaden Daniels last year, who we were like all in on. And now where the hell's Jaden Daniels? He just went to a conference championship and had an incredible, rookie season, and now he's nowhere to be found. So I get a little scared to all of a sudden anoint these guys. I need to see it a few years in a row, but hell of a run. If he just lights the world on fire, he'll have a chance to hold that crown.
Hey, speaking of the man, before we move on to the Seahawks, speaking of the man behind the scene that's not getting any credit, I want to give a credit to the Ohio boy Josh McDaniels, the OC for New England, 49-year-old Ohio native. He started his career working for Nick Saban at Michigan State. He was under Nick Saban. That's how he started. Josh McDaniels guided Tom Brady to his first NFL MVP in 2007, and then he returned the Patriots for a third time and turned Maye into the leading MVP candidate 19 years later. That's pretty good, man. There's a guy that got fired two times as head coach, and he went back to OC, and he's been successful. And that's why I keep saying these OCs that go after these head jobs, stay in that OC slot if that's a better role for you. Josh McDaniels tearing it up at the OC.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's right. Hey, so Team Money, let's see what you think about the Seahawks. We've talked about the Patriots. What do you think the keys are to their victory? That's a simple formula to me. Simple formula.
I agree with you. It's a very simple formula for me as well, G-Man.
What is it?
I think it starts with Sam Darnold, but this can also be part of the team. Don't turn the ball over. You don't turn the ball over, I think you're going to win this game running away. You turn the ball over one time, I still think you win this game pretty easily. But if Sam Darnold somehow goes in and starts turning the ball over and making mistakes, that's where I get concerned. But I think the biggest thing here is they can be conservative. I look back at their last, 9-10 wins here. He's had 5 games where he hasn't thrown over 200 yards. And the only game in the last 10 games where he threw multiple interceptions, they won the game in overtime. They won every other game. They've won 10 or 11 in a row. They beat San Francisco when he threw 17 passes for 124 yards, 41-6. So they can easily win this game without Sam Darnold needing to be Superman like he was versus the Rams. But that's because you're going up against Stafford. Drake Maye has not proven to be Stafford in the playoffs yet, and now he's going up against his hardest defensive assignment yet in the Seahawks defense, who I know is going to show up. That's not a key. And so as long as Sam Darnold does not turn the ball over multiple times, I think they win this game pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree. I would just add on to that, and I agree it's the turnovers.
Is that your key? Did we both have the same key?
Oh, no, I'm saying, well, I had 2, and one is that Darnold can't make turnovers. He's made the Pro Bowl despite leading all players with 20 turnovers.
Yep.
He hasn't done it in the playoffs. He has not done it in the playoffs. So he shows he can do it. But my number one key is the defense just has to be themselves. Defense wins championships. Darnold, don't blow it. Let your defense go. The Seahawks have done 27 straight games without allowing a 100-yard rusher. They faced McCaffrey twice. They faced Kyren Williams twice. They faced Bijan once and Jonathan Taylor once, and none of them got 100 yards rushing. Just be yourself, Seattle. Just be yourself.
That is crazy. I'm on the same team, G. I think we see this playing out similarly.
Now, I look at the keys to the Patriots winning, and I got a longer list, Money. I see a lot of things that have to happen for the Patriots to win this game. But what do you think? What are the keys for them to win this game?
I think Drake Maye is going to have to play at an MVP level.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way that this game can go like the script has for the past 3 playoff games and they win this game. They are not Drake Maye, even if he doesn't have a turnover like he did in the Denver game. The offense was stagnant in the first half of that Denver game, and there was no snow on the ground yet. All right. He had 50 total yards on offense, that team did in the first half versus Denver. So this team didn't look good even when the snow wasn't on the ground versus an elite defense. So Drake Maye has to be otherworldly, because if he does not have a 3-touchdown game, and I genuinely mean 3 touchdowns, I don't think they win this game. And so he has to play at an MVP level versus the best defense in the league, because the Seahawks are going to coast to 20 points. And if Sam Darnold plays well, it's going to be 30. and that's an elite defense. And so you better be on point and you better be ready. Got to play at that MVP level he was this year.
Yep. 5 touchdowns and 5 turnovers in the postseason for May.
Yep.
The worst EPA per dropback in a postseason by any quarterback entering the Super Bowl since 2006.
Wow.
He
That's
he's
crazy.
fumbled 6 times
Yep.
in the
You
two
know they're coming
playoff
for him.
matchup. So I agree with you on your point one, and I'm going to give you a related point, a second point related to that. Will the New England offensive line hold up under pressure when they
That's
start
good.
coming, like you said, when they
Yeah.
start coming for him? Will that O line hold up under pressure? Because if they don't, Drake May is going to be spied on. There's going to be a spy on Drake May. He had a 37-yard run in the wild card round. He had a 28-yarder to set up the go-ahead field goal in the title game in the AFC. Will he be able to get free when the pressure's on and get
Yeah.
a long run or two? If he can do that, that would be great. But if he's got a spy on him, that's going to get tough. Will that New England offensive line hold up? And if they don't, can he get some runs going? That's my other thing. And the other is my third item, my last item for the Patriots to be successful. They can't just play good defense. They need takeaways. They have a top 5 defense,
Yep.
but they got to get the turnovers. That's the way they've got to make it. They've got to turn it into an offense, and they got to get takeaways. That's what
Yep.
that defense has to do.
Agreed, G. Agreed.
Agree. Hey, thanks to our show sponsor, Pins and Aces, golf apparel for men and women and youth. Check it out, pinsandaces.com. Enter our coupon code FSHF. Get 15% discount on your full order. And T Money and I, we're going to go here to give you some big bets here, baby. You guys want some big bets for the Super Bowl? We got you nailed. G-Man is going to give you the national anthem. He's won it 3 years in a row. I'm saving it for you till the end. But before we do that, we're going to pick the game here. T Money and I. Seattle Seahawks minus 4.5 is the current odds. And the over-under's 46. And T Money, what do you think?
Look, I am going Seahawks here, and I'll take the points. 4.5. That's my first bet here. I know G-Man's going to do the cute stuff. I'm going to get right to the gridiron, okay? All right. I'm going Seahawks 4.5. This team is crushing it. They're only allowing 17 points per game right now, which was the leader in the NFL, and their average margin of victory was over 11 points. I think that they can easily win this game by 4.5. I think it's going to be closer to a touchdown or more when it comes to it.
I'm looking at a bunch of things, but I'm going with you. I'm going with you here on this one. I'm going Seattle minus 4.5 myself. I just think they have an easier formula here. They basically got to be themselves and Darnold. Darnold, don't try to be Superman.
Yeah.
And they're going to bring this thing home. New England has to have a lot of things happen for them to win this game. I'm going Seattle minus 4.5. And I'm going to tell you what, because of that, the MVP has to be from Seattle, right? I don't think it's going to be Sam Darnold. I think they're going to ratchet Sam back. Who does that leave? JSN and Kenneth Walker. I'm going with Kenneth Walker here. I think Seattle wins. And Kenneth Walker's odds, I can't turn it down. Plus 800. So $10 wins you $80 for Kenneth Walker. I just think that he's got a good chance of doing that if he breaks a touchdown, gets a touchdown. And along with that, I'm going to give you a heads up on my player prop just to kind of speed things up. And I've got Ken Walker anytime touchdown in my player prop bet. So I'm going on this whole Seattle Kenneth Walker thing, T-Money, for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, and I think we kind of see this the same way. As long as there's no snow and the Patriots can't get lucky 2 weeks in a row with bad weather, rain versus Houston and snow versus Denver, this is going to be more of a shootout than they think. Like you said, if this gets away from them, Sam Darnold only had 1 touchdown and 124 yards in that Niners game. Kenneth Walker, 3 touchdowns, 116 yards. So if we see it playing out like that first playoff game, which I think we kind of do, that's where that leads. I like the pick there. My second bet, G-Man, I'm taking the under 45.5. I hate unders. It's the worst to root for. I just don't think the Patriots are going to score. I don't trust them versus this elite defense. Drake May has looked overwhelmed this entire time. Their offensive line is barely hung together. This is the most sacks, or third most sacks in NFL history entering a Super Bowl for a quarterback. So this is that they are not protecting him as well as these numbers show. So I don't think they're going to move the ball. I don't think they're going to score. I think Seattle's going to be conservative and just put up 22 to 25 points, and they're going to win this game 25-17 and be completely happy with it.
I'm locking that down. 25-17 is T Money's prediction. All right,
Yeah.
we got you on that, T Money. I'm going to give you my player prop
Come on.
package. We went 2-1 3 weeks in a row, trying to give you that 3-0 parlay play right here. Ken Walker, anytime touchdown I mentioned, it's minus 200. You want to get more odds on it? Bet him in the first half. He scored in the first half last game. And my second pick is George Alani. Remember, he's the backup with Charbonnet out. Over 10.5 receiving yards. They're going to throw him the ball at least a couple times. Over 10.5 receiving yards for Alani. Who else are they going to throw it to out of the backfield? I think that's an easy one. And last one is Drake Maye, at least one turnover. I was looking it up. I didn't find because I think he might fumble too and lose it.
Yeah.
So it's an interception or fumble. If you have to go interception, go with that one. But Drake May's turning this ball over at least one time. He's had 2 picks and 4 fumbles in the postseason.
Yep.
There's your parlay package, Team Money, before I get to my 2 special Super Bowl props.
All right. I like it. Let's hear about this Gatorade you got going, G-Man.
Okay, Gatorade. I think this is going to be an easy game. What's the color of the Gatorade? The options are orange, blue, purple, clear, yellow, or red, pink. And the highest odds are on orange and blue, and yellow, green, lime. I'm going blue here. I'm going blue because both teams have blue in their colors. I'm going with the odds here. Gatorade color is going to be blue. That's plus 240. $10. I win $24.
Okay, I like it. And blue's the best flavor anyway, so that's a good bet.
T-Money likes blue. All right, last bet then is the national anthem. G-Man's hit this 3
Loves
years in
this
a row.
one.
It's a controversial. It's a controversial bet, but it is a legitimate bet. How long will it be? Charlie Puth is singing this national anthem. He's never sung the national anthem. I looked it up. I do the research so you guys don't have to out there. He has never sung a national anthem in public. Do you believe that?
Wow.
That's crazy, man. And, most of these singers do 2 minutes. The single, the groups are different and duos are different, but a single person is right around 2 minutes. His over-under, the site I'm looking at is 2 minutes and 1.5 seconds. 2 minutes and 1.5 seconds for Charlie Puth. Most sports books I was looking around are at 159, under that. And the greatest national anthem ever sung, T-Money, you know who it was. Whitney Houston, 1991. She was 154. There's a lot of controversy here. When do they start the clock? When do they stop? Every sports book is different, so there can be controversy. The last 4 years were single performers, no groups. 3 of them went over, 1 went under. John Baptiste last year hung on to the brave note excessively long. And before that, Reba McEntire, the year before, said, "Home of the brave! Home of the brave!" She sang it twice, and the sportsbook I deal with did not count her second Home of the Brave, and I won. So it can be controversial. I'm going under. Charlie Puth, under 2 minutes and 1.5 seconds for plus 135.
Okay.
He's favored to go over that. I'm going under, man, on Charlie Puth.
Okay. I like it, G-Man.
There you go, everybody. Hey, the Super Bowl's ready for all of you. We hope you had fun here tonight hanging out with us, Team Money and I, bringing you the Super Bowl preview show. Hey, go check out our website, Father, Son, and HolySport.com. Check out some of the merch, baby. We hope you had fun. On behalf of Team Money, I'm G-Man. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Peace.